I'm Angie. Welcome to my channel where I do stuff. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So good to see you again. Oh, hey, you like my t-shirt? I love it. Anyway, so if you've been following along on Instagram, then you have probably noticed that I've been cleaning out my garage and I've been finding a ton of stuff that I either didn't even know I had or had completely forgotten I had. And one of those things was a box that was full of ceramic pieces that I made when I was an undergrad during my last quarter at Houston Baptist University years ago. And it was just a project that never got finished. It was meant to be put together and make a set of wind chimes, and I never got around to it. So it is my pleasure to present to you today's video, which is the finished project of me finally getting these wind chimes together that have been waiting for assembly since 2005. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Thank you. So with that, let's get into the video. So if you've been following along on Instagram, I have been cleaning out my garage and I found these in a box. And of course I didn't know what it was, so I started unwrapping them and I found this. These are ceramic wind chimes I made when I was undergrad at Houston Baptist. So these were a Raku type style pottery that I did. I used an extruder that was in our studio. Ignore my stencils under here. I used an extruder that was in the, let's see. Okay, I take this back. This was in 2005. So that was the year I graduated. I was living in this really cute condo in Sharpstown, if you're familiar with Houston, and it was on the golf course. And I woke up every morning and I could see out onto the lake, and it was a really cool loft condo. So it was upstairs and had a loft and a big skylight and sliding glass doors that went out to the porch. And so the intention was that I was going to put these out on the porch, and I never got around to actually assembling it. And I don't even know if all the pieces are here. And okay, so there's the wind thing at the bottom. And the striker. But the only thing I don't have is the round plate that I made for the top. And it was probably about, you can't even see. It was probably like that big around, whatever. It was big. But I think what I'm gonna have to do instead is probably just use like a metal loop or something that I can, like a hoop of some sort that I can use to hang these off of. Unless I happen to find this ceramic plate that I made. I have no idea where it is. So anyway, here we are 16 years later, and I may finally get this thing put together. So just for future reference, Dremel, a fail. I posted on my Nextdoor app and asked if there was anyone who was willing to let me come by and they could use an angle grinder or something to cut this off. And instead of people offering, which if they don't, that's fine. I don't mind if no one can help me out. But don't sit there and tell me, oh, you should take it to Lowe's because it can't be any thicker than the chains they sell there. Seriously, I'm gonna take this to Lowe's and someone's gonna cut it for me. However, that comment did help me because then I realized I had a pair of bolt cutters. So we're gonna try that and see if this is a colossal fail or if it actually works. I have never used these bolt cutters before. In fact, I don't even remember what I got them for. Probably some nefarious reason, but we'll see if it works. Ah! Well, that worked. Okay. Sweet! Ta-da! So now I have my disc. So, okay. Awesome. Okay, next step, just spray paint this. So I started kind of brainstorming some ideas of how I was going to string all this up. And I have some plastic filament and it's pretty thick. It is so hard to tie knots in and all of that. And so then I was like, oh, I have plenty of wire for this. But then I realized that the wire isn't going to allow it to really move freely anyway. So that's out. And so I ended up settling on monofilament. I mean, it's just Shakespeare fishing line. I'm going to use this fishing line. It's a 25-pound test. You know, I'm not going to have this in an area where it can really get blown around or anything because they're still ceramic. You know, they may be really thick. Like, I don't know if you can tell, that's kind of thick, but it's still ceramic. So anyway, we're gonna go with the monofilament and I'm going to string all this stuff together and hang it from my newly painted thing. All I really have to do is figure out how I'm gonna keep this from sliding down. So I don't know if I need to try to find like a bead or something to put right there, but I'm gonna have to do something to keep that from sliding down the line. Here I am cutting all the fishing line and feeding it through the tubes and then tying it onto the ring and then holding it up to make sure that they're all in alignment. I need 2 packs of these plant hangers from Dollar Tree. These are way too long and I need to add a couple chains. I ended up disassembling both of the plant hangers and I shortened all of the chains to only 10 links. And I used 4 chains around the perimeter of the ring. And then I had a 5th chain that was hanging from the very center. Next, I tied on the little wind catcher thing and the striker onto a length of fishing line. If you're enjoying today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It really does help support the channel and it lets me know how I'm doing. And if you get a chance, follow me on my other socials. Then I just tied everything together and I added super glue to all the knots of the fishing line to make sure they don't come loose. And I was pretty much done. Well, y'all, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun finally getting this project done. And if you enjoyed it, then maybe you'll consider subscribing. I hope you will, because I would love to see you back here next week when I do more stuff. Bye.